Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another Morning Coffee Talks. It is a great Tuesday morning, actually. I feel like I got some really good sleep. Um, yeah, it's not a bad start. Not a bad start. I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday morning. And man, it's been a lot on my mind though. Definitely been a lot on my mind. I actually was reflecting and thinking about a conversation I had with my father-in-law couple of days not too long ago, and it was something I said, and I was like, I just kind of went back and reflected on it, and I don't. It was a lot we talked about, but in the midst of it, I do remember saying something about attempting to change the dynamic, the family dynamic of where I'm from and my background and things like that. And it just really got me thinking, man. Like when all said and done, and like the dust is settled, what will people remember me by? You know, what kind of impact um, did I have? Do people care about, did I make it? What kind of car I drove or what kind of house I own? You know what I mean? Like, does that really matter? Does it matter about how much money you have? Or does it matter about the impact you left behind where people was like, man, I can take that with me, or I can remember that with me. Maybe I can't have his money, his cars and stuff like that, but can I have the love he showed me, the value he brought in my life, you know? So those are the things I'm starting to think about when it comes to like my legacy and impact. And again, I don't have kids yet, but even then I'm starting to think like, okay, once I do have kids, it's like, man, what am I truly passing down when it comes to this legacy thing? Because for me, it's hard to say it ain't about money when you ain't really had money. You know, I know it like me. When I say ain't really had money, I'm talking about like I haven't reached a certain threshold where you really see a difference. Me personally, I don't feel like because I'm a numbers guy and I understand how money works because I worked in finance for 5 years, right? And there's not a big difference between 70,000 and 100,000. It really isn't. I think once you get to like 125, 150, then you start to feel it differently. And it may be different even now because that was my thought back then, just looking at how the numbers work and the interest and stuff like that, and just what you really make after taxes. But with the way the interest rates are going now, and the way that the cost of things are going up, it's like you might even need to do like 250 to really feel comfortable, and that's on like a basic level. We're not even talking about the millions, right? So I bring that to say I can't say the money doesn't matter, but I personally, in my heart of heart, doesn't feel like it matters more than what you can teach somebody, right? Because you can give somebody money, but if they don't know how it works, they're gonna lose it, right? And then the thing when it comes to status, was MLK, what's his status in society like known for like being flashy and stuff? Like that's what people think like status and clout. That's how they kind of put it together. But like the people that really made a big impact, I don't think they were super rich. We can look at people like Malcolm X. Uh, we can look at, and I'm really referring to the black community. I'm sure some people in the other communities that wasn't really wealthy like that, but still made a meaningful impact and still was able to leave a legacy. I'm not saying it was broke, but they wasn't the Jeff Bezos and stuff like that. But I think a meaningful legacy or giving a meaningful impact to life is definitely built through the lives we touch. Because I still remember good memories from, the ones I had as a child, just some different people I met. And those things that live with me forever, right? And definitely the few values that I learned from other people. A lot of stuff I learned on my own, but it was a few different people I came across that things that stuck with me in a very positive way. And so I had to think about, the opposite, like what did I contribute that can definitely stand the test of time after I'm gone with other people, you know. So I think it's when you look at it, it's something that's built daily, not just in our lifetime. You can look back at it over the lifetime, but what you do on a day to day, how you impact people day to day, I think that really matters, because those things add up as well. So like every action, every decision, interactions, I think that shapes how people remember you, not like just giving them money and things like that. There, that can help them, but it doesn't really impact them and touch them where they can't hold on to the money forever. You know what I mean? But the way you made them feel, the way you impacted them, excuse me, that's something that they can just take with them into their grave, right? Bad or good. So that's something that I have to always be, mindful of. And I think about like my nieces and nephews and stuff like that. Like those different experiences we had. I try to be mindful of those different things. So, that's just something just a question that's been kind of rolling around my mind is like, what would people really say if it was my last day? And I think on some level, I, and this is my ego I'm working on. It's like sometimes I don't really care, but it's not that I don't care in a fast light. A lot of times it be opinions, it don't be facts, right? And so there's a few people who really know you internally and they're very close to you who do have the facts on you. And that's the stuff that really matters. Um, but, I think opinions can matter on some level, but it shouldn't impact you in a sense of how you dictate your life and how you move, right? So that's really what I'm alluding to. Um, we think about material things. I think those things fade. Like there's always gonna be a new car, right? There's always gonna be some new hot thing that's out there in the market you can buy. Um, there's always gonna be a Christmas every year that you can get them some toy that's gonna break and things like that, or give somebody a gift they don't really care about. But I think the time, the values, the lessons, and just how you build those relationships, those are the things that endure, right? So, I think about what's like a shout out to a guy I used to work with named Chevelle. Um, I remember him showing me how to budget, save my life. You know what I mean? He was. I remember we talking about like where my money was, and I kept overdrafting and things like that. And it was just something basic, man, just something basic like that, and that really planted the seed for me to really take off in life. And so those little things like that, or um, you know, taking your kids to something they might be really interested in. Let's say like I have a niece, she's big into anime, right? And putting her in positions to experience different things with anime. Yeah, she may in 2 3 years or whatever she may grow out of it and want to do something different, but that those different things, like I think we went to eat like sushi or something like that. No, you know what it was? It was ramen. We went to go eat ramen for the first time and she absolutely loved it. And I know like the way the smiles on her face and just the experience we had, me taking her, allowing her to just experience that just over food, right, was a big impact that I know she'll remember for the rest of her life. Like, man, the first time I ate ramen was with my uncle. You know what I mean? Like little stuff like that. And it was just a positive thing. And her sister. So I remember the first time I went to go eat sushi. So like little things like that. Just those little things that impact you in such a positive way. And the person that you're spending it with, those relationships that you have, those are the things that endure, right? Again, she can't take the ramen with her, right? But she can keep the experience with her for the rest of her life and who she spent it with. Those memories, right? That impact, because she was in the moment, it aligned. So, with that all being said, every day now is just a reminder of living with purpose. Just living with purpose, just aligning, my actions with my values. And sometimes, values can change, but I think at my core, I think what my heart is, my heartstrings, I think I have the same values, but maybe I'm just tweaking them or maybe I'm upgrading them, right? And I think that's something that a lot of us can do out there. A lot of men has to really keep that in prime focus on living their life with a purpose, man, being purpose driven. That's something that happened to me when I really started this journey. I used to be passion driven, like I love doing this, but it'd be like here by day, gone by night, right? But the difference is when I locked in and aligned my actions with my values, then it became purpose, right? It allowed me to even invest more into relationships, being intentional about spending time a certain way, right? Really giving back. Like I said, I got nieces and nephews. I love spending time with them. I love having certain conversations with them as they grow and develop, right? Just fostering deeper connections. I think one thing that I don't know if it's truly giving back to the community, but I think my time, that's giving back because a lot of conversation, I told you guys I had a conversation with a young lady. We'll see what she does with it, right? My intention was not my intention was to get her to a point where she gets to make the decision. But it was to allow her to be awakened by the conversation, right? But everybody has to make their own decision. That's my way of giving back. If it's natural, if it's not forced conversation, but that's my way of giving back. Maybe as I level up more, I would be able to use money as a tool to give back in my community, right? Maybe invest in, I don't know, little kids' baseball teams or something, who didn't have the equipment or, I don't know, cleaning up the community, help something. We'll figure that out as time go on. But I think with all of that said is, making sure I have a vision for how all this aligns, right? And just having a vision how it all connects at the end. So before we get up out of here, I just want to say, man, and I had to ask myself the same question. What legacy do we want to leave behind? What's a value or action that we want to be remembered by? So, I don't know. Inspire somebody, man. Inspire yourself to want to, live for something greater. Impact, legacy, purpose, right? So that's really what I wanted to talk about today. Again, remember, I don't feel personally in my heart, it's not always about the money. The money is definitely a tool, right? And it's definitely something that you want to leave behind so they can just have a better start to life, your family and things like that. But just remember that the time, the value, and the lives you touch, the lessons you teach, because what they say, you can give a man a fish or you can teach him how to fish type thing. Teaching somebody how to fish, because then when you dead and gone, they can do it themselves versus consistently relying on other people. So I think that's just more powerful. So that's probably the lesson I'm still living by. Where somebody taught me how to fish when it comes to like managing my money, when it comes to how to give back and things like that. Yeah. So listen, drop a comment below. Subscribe to the Husband Code if it's your first time. If you've been watching for a while, subscribe. And if you got any value from this video, hit the like button, right? And we're dropping videos like this every day. Hit the notification bell. But until next time, I appreciate you guys. I have a great Tuesday. We'll see you next time. Peace.